Let's welcome back Senator Bob Hall for a few words.
Well, thank you guys for all being out here today, and I am humbled and blessed to be able to serve the people of Texas as one of their state senators. One of the things I've said recently in a post, and I've said it quite often when we're looking at what's being done, there's never a right time or a right way to do the wrong thing. And what we're seeing with the proposed contact tracing is absolutely the wrong thing. It is wrong technically, it is wrong financially, and it is wrong morally to be pursued. It is wrong technically because it is designed for other types of communicable diseases like Ebola, TB, or HIV that are slow-moving and deadly. We have a virus that is neither one. It is fast-moving, but it is not very deadly. Matter of fact, it is just like Fauci said in his first prediction, it is less deadly than the flu. Right now in Texas, unfortunately, we have had about 1,500 people that have died of the Chinese virus, and that's unfortunate. But over half of those have been our senior citizens in nursing homes that had underlying conditions. In that same time frame that 1,500 have died of the Chinese virus, we have had 7,500 die of the flu. We have had more people die in automobile accidents, and our suicide rate is climbing fast. But not only is it not technically right, it's not financially right to do that. $300 million that we're going to spend on something that will make no difference at all. And I've asked that question of our so-called experts in Austin several times now, and I don't get an answer. How many lives will this save? Because they know it will not save any lives. It is strictly being introduced as a precursor to tracking of the sheeple. And so it is financially, that money has many other places we could use it. We could spend that money on using the drugs that have been demonstrated to be effective in treating patients with the Chinese virus, like hydroxychloroquine, erythromycin, and zinc. We've heard from enough doctors that have seen it firsthand. That money would far much better be spent with them. And the last in it is morally wrong to track people unnecessarily. And what they're talking about, an invasion of our individual privacy, is truly over the top. And I didn't get this from reading something on Facebook. I went directly to the people in Texas Health and Human Services Commission who are in charge of designing the program. And when they talked to me about the requirement to have businesses log in all their customers' time that they're there, and so they would know who to contact when they couldn't remember exact names, I thought that was bad enough. But when they talked to me about the plan, when they have someone who has tested positive, and we know that those tests are not always accurate, but that's not going to stand in the way because that moves them into the probably has it. So we have a new category of with COVID and probably has COVID. But if the family that that person lives in with is in a small home, 2-bedroom house with 1 bathroom, maybe an elderly person or kids, their plan is there has to be isolation away from the house. And so when I asked the question, what does that really mean? Where would they go? I was told, oh, well, we've got government housing being set up to either put the kids or the elderly person or the person in it. So it is morally wrong where we're going. And the last thing I want to say is, when we started this, their objective was to put fear in people, and they were very effective in doing it. They told us that the death rate of this unknown thing that no one ever saw was going to be somewhere between 3 and 7%. The reality of it today is it's somewhere between 0.05 and 0.03%. They said we'd have 240,000 Texans dead. by August, which meant maybe 100,000 by now. We haven't seen that. They told us our hospitals would be overrun. There'd be no room for all those who are sick. They'd be dying in the streets or dying at home with no medical care. And when I asked, well, what's the medical care they're going to get? Because you told me there is no medication. So what are you doing for them? Well, don't ask questions like that. It's just going to be overrun. Well, we haven't seen that. We haven't exceeded 2% of our hospital capacity. 2%. And that's where we are today. It's remained flat at that since it started. And as a result, we have actually diminished our medical capability in our hospitals. It is less today than it was the day before we started all of this, because we've had hospitals closed, wings of hospitals, and if you didn't read about it, Baylor, one of the biggest in the area, laid off 1,200 people this past week, and other hospitals going out of business. So folks, it is time to open back up. It is time to get rid of the term essential and non-essential, because every business out there is essential to someone and their family. We need to open it up, and like the t-shirt that I saw this morning, it said, "Hug me, I'm working on herd immunity." We need more of that. God bless you. God bless Texas. Thank you.